Hello everyone, welcome to MYP Biology Lessons Unit 4.1 Function. Today we're going to talk about function. So first question, what is a function? Probably majority of you already know this answer. The function of something is what it does. Whether it's a living organism or a non-living organism, they all carry out specific functions. Have you ever wondered how different organisms function? So around you there's a lot of living organisms that have you ever wondered how different organisms function, such as a mosquito? What's the function of a mosquito? That in summer it doesn't let us sleep. Or what about the tree frog? So here today we're going to learn about the smaller unit of all living organisms, cell. What are the functions of the part of a cell? You know that all multicellular organisms are composed of billions of cells, each of them carrying out specific functions. So today we're going to learn about the cell structure and the functions. So first, we start with cell membrane, known as plasma membrane. It's actually selectively permeable barrier between the outside environment and inside of the cell constituent. So it actually has two functions. First, to be a barrier keeping the constituent of the cell in and unwanted substances out. A second function is to be a gate allowing essential nutrients transporting into the cell and all waste products out of the cell. So nucleus, we can find nucleus inside all eukaryotic cells, and as you know, nucleus stores genes, and that's the DNA. Its second function is it produces ribosome, which make proteins, and as well genetic information which it contains. Mitochondria, no functions can be operated without mitochondria. That is vitally important for the cells because it's a powerhouse of the cells. You know that by aerobic respiration the energy is released, and by this energy all cells and organisms function. So it has a double membrane, smoother out and folded inner, the matrix and Christius. So and you know that this is a powerhouse of the cell. Ribosomes. Ribosomes are very important organelle in all living cells, including prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. They're remarkably abundant in cells because it produces proteins and read information to build proteins from DNA. It's made of two subunits, bigger and smaller, which is very different in size sediments in prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, which we will learn in future lessons. Cytoplasm, it has a lot of functions actually. So it's a jelly-like fluid which covers all the interior of the cell. All organelles are situated inside the cytoplasm, and it removes waste materials, helps in cell respiration, converts glucose into energy, and contains the organelles inside, as I said before. Lysosomes. Lysosomes are responsible for the digestion of micromolecules, old cells, and microorganisms. It contains digestive enzymes. The inside of the lysosome is an acidic environment. It breaks down the food. It breaks down damaged and wounded organelles, and also cell suicide, which there is an old cell, and so the body wants to get rid of it, and then lysosomes take the action. So vesicles, the vesicles are single membrane with fluid inside. They're very small, and they play a role of transportation between cells, organelles. They contain enzymes, neurotransmitters, and hormones. How do cells specialize for particular functions? So microvilli. You know that our small intestine is composed of a lot of microvilli. But what's the function of them? You know, these multiple finger-like projections which increase the surface area, helping food absorption. Our smallest intestine is not capable of doing all the absorptions alone. So you know the surface area is very important for the food absorption. Those microvilli, as you see in electron microscope, there is a picture. And these microvilles increase the surface area of the cells, which the food absorption are actually going on there. Cilius. We can find this cilius inside the uterus and in the trachea, in respiratory tract, which is their tiny hair-like structures, and the all microorganisms, dust, and unwanted things are trapped inside the cilius and are removed from our body. They play in a protective context. They play a very important role. Pseudopodia, we can find the pseudopodia things in unicellular organs such as amoeba, and this is extendable lobe of membrane enclosed cytoplasm for movement or to engulf prey. Some of our cells are able to change its shape and outgrowths of the cells in various forms, and they can enclose something in a vesicle or vacuole such as a lysosome or leukocytes. Microtubules, they are actually, as you see, this is straight-like intercellular structures that are responsible for various movement in all eukaryotic cells. Microtubules are involved in nucleic and cell divisions, that those microtubules, those centrioles, catch the chromosomes from each part, and they play an important role in cell division and cytokinesis. Keratin fibers, you know that keratin fibers we can find in our nails and our hair. It's a tough protein that repel water, so the group of cells shrink and die and turns into hard body parts that when we just cut our nail and hair, we don't feel anything because they are actually dead cell parts. Actin and myosin filaments, they are contractile proteins that pull the cells into different shape, and you can find actin and myosin filaments in our muscle cells. As you see, cheek lining cells. In our lesson, we're gonna just investigate the cheek lining cells. What are the functions of cheek lining cells? We will see the cheek lining cells under the light microscope, and we will answer those questions. So they're very thin cells that overlap adjacent cells, protecting mouths from damage by acid and chemicals. As you see, the food that we're eating contains a lot of acidic and alkali chemicals, so we need to protect our mouths from the damage, and that is the function of the cheek lining cells. They're flat cells with a thin flattened nucleus, providing smooth surface inside the mouth so food can pass easily. They're easily rubbed off, so the cheek lining is replaced every day. That's a protecting against hard food. They contain keratin, which is a tough fibrous protein preventing bacterial infection. So, how do cells communicate? This is your going to be assignment. You're going to read the text on page 92 from the book NYP Biology 4 and 5 about hormones and neurotransmitters. As you know, guys, there's a lot of cell communication inside our body. One of them are hormones and neurotransmitters. So you're gonna just investigate the hormones and neurotransmitters, how cells are communicated by hormones and neurotransmitters. The second assignment is going to be life reduced to the minimum. Again, you're going to read an article about the bacteria Mycoplasma mycotius, the minimum genome. So read the text on page 94 because we're going to discuss about this as well. So review part, there are a lot of questions related to the Unit 4.1. So you're going to answer those questions. What's the function of a cell membrane, mitochondria, keratin fibers, microtubules, microvilli, pseudopodias. So imagine there are too many cell structures around and the cell must get rid of one, then another, and so on. Which cell organelle would you start, why, and then? That's just like a really interesting question and discussion that we're going to do with you in class. So guys, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.